Your work can feel much smoother with
Your idea is waiting to be seen. GoDaddy Websites Plus Marketing has everything you need to put it on display. Create a beautiful website that works for you. Get going with ready-to-launch templates that are tailored to your needs. Connect your social media. And grow it all with Insight, the intelligent tool that guides you and scores your progress. GoDaddy Websites
prizes. And most important of all, please enjoy the event and interact with us.
I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come.
Oh, that's late.
Adakah
Puncak megah ingin ku tawani, dengan ilmu aku berbakti, julang tradisi, unggulkan varsity. Ayu semadi hati, katakan ini, we love you PM, we love you PM. Kau sentiasa di hati, kaulah inspirasi. Ayo berlari, menggapai visi, berilmu berbakti. Oh yeah, we love you PM, we love you PM. Kau sentiasa di hati, kaulah inspirasi. Ayo berlari, menggapai visi, berilmu berbakti. Di varsity ini aku berdiri, melangkah mula dan terus berlari, mengejar visi, menggenggam misi. Puncak megah ingin ku tawari, dengan ilmu aku berbakti, julang tradisi, unggulkan varsity. Ayu semadi Ayu selagi hati katakan ini, we love you BM, we love you BM. Kau sentiasa di hati, kaulah inspirasi.
All right, it looks like it's very good. So maybe we can start the program right now. All right. Okay. So good
Sorry.
morning.
Sorry,
Yes,
just
sir.
setting the volume. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Clearly. All right. I'll do the opening right now. So good morning to our honorable guest, Dr. Dajit Singh, anak lelaki Karam Singh, Coordinator of Bachelor of Science in Plantation Management with Honours, Ms. Fahiza Nur Muhammad, Senior Assistant Registrar of Faculty of Agriculture, our speaker, Mr. Chandru, anak lelaki Sirianadan, the Managing Partner from Bio Terra Solution Sdn Bhd, friends from Bio Terra Solution Sdn Bhd, and all of the respectable participants from UPM. I am Nur Hazira Wazir, student of Bachelor Degree of Animal Science UPM, and I will be your moderator of today. On behalf of Bio Terra Solution Sdn Bhd and communities of Permatani, we are pleased to welcome all of you to the Agriculture Career Prospect Series 4, which is Bio Terra Solution Sdn Bhd. So before we proceed further this morning, may we invite Dr. Dajit Singh, anak lelaki Karam Singh, coordinator, to deliver his opening speech. The floor is yours, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Hazira. A very good morning to our honorable guest, Mr. Chandru, son of Srinathan, the managing partner for Bio Terra Solution Sdn Bhd. Good morning and welcome, sir. So today is, all right. So today will be our Agriculture Career Prospect series. I believe that I read a bit about Bio Terra Solutions. So the main focus, actually, we are using microbe technologies. So I believe also this is a big opportunity for our students, especially from our faculty, to look for the opportunity to do the industrial practical, as well to be the part of Bio Terra family itself. And for your kind information, we have a few degree programs in Faculty of Agriculture. This include agriculture, horticulture, animal sciences, agribusiness, plantations, animal science, and aquaculture.
Yeah.
So I believe beside that, outside UPM also we have other faculty like Faculty of Forestry Environment. We have also food sciences, which also they also have a big osmolarity and they also, I think, can be part of Bio Terra Solution also as well. So without further ado, so I would like to invite Mr. Chandru to deliver your speech as well as presentations. So,
Right.
sir, please.
Thank you. So, hello guys. Are you able to see my screen?
You have to
No,
share again.
I think you have to share it again, Mr. Chandru.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, you can see it now.
All right. Okay. All right. First of all, thank you, Professor Dajit Singh, for a very good opening session. And I'm not sure about the weather over in KL or UPM, but it's been raining here for the past 2 days. So, all right. So, well, it's a good sign actually for plantations. Yeah, weather, I mean, water is always good input for crops. Is one of the challenge we are facing these days. Right. Thank you for Rafida for assisting me to set up these things. I appreciate that a lot. And to our moderator, Puan Nur Hazira, for that wonderful intro initially. Right. Okay, guys. Okay, this is a simple career talk which we have prepared for you guys for today. So without further ado, I'd like to move on our first slide. Because I think we are in a juncture where there is a clear definition need to be identified to the students, for the students. It's about career or job. So the real question is always about what do you want to do after this, after your completion of your studies, and what are you passionate about? If it's just a job, basically it's just going to be something for you to earn money, and then career advancement is not something that you are not interested with, and then maybe within 5 years, most probably you will be changing your job. But this pathway ataupun this career that we are looking for is something, an employment opportunity where you are looking at upskilling your skills after your completing of your studies, where you will be exposed to something that you love to do, right? So it is very important because a lot of people wanted to join agriculture, plantation and whatnot, but due to certain factor, they will lose their interest and eventually leave the industry. So that is a fact, because not many people last long in the industry, unfortunately, for the newcomers. So hence, we always must be something passionate about it. We must be passionate about it, about what you want to do. So that is the first criteria I deem for any new upcoming students to pick on. So I would like to share with you those people who have picked up this as a career, as we are very passionate about it. So I'd like to introduce the team first of Bio Terra Solutions, right? This is the team which we are a bunch of guys. Eventually, you will find out later. We had a common understanding or common direction, and then we had a very good FIFUs, I would say good advisors to guide us, because we decided that rain, that I was telling you, it's raining today, rain or shine, we're going to pick up this career and we're going to move on. And there's a lot of things for us to look at, to look forward actually. All right, so without further ado, this is my team. So I'm Chandru Sirenathan. I've been in this industry for the past, since 2003. In fact, this is my first job. It started as a job for me. I eventually turned into a career. And I graduated from University Malaya. I did my biochemistry. Theoretically, I was taught on these biochemical reactions of microbe, nutrients, and soil behavior and whatnot. But when we move into the industry, I tell you, it is a different world altogether, where your learning curve is beyond the books. It is interesting, very, very interesting for the matter. And with my partner, Sim Kian Hong. Sim Kian Hong is actually an alumni from UPM. He did environmental biotechnology from UPM. And he did a work on palm oil meal effluent and study of bioplastic by microbes. That's where we are very much involved in bio materials, I mean, microorganisms, right? And my business development, who happens to be my brother, actually. So he's Guna, and he did economics. So he's very much involved in data analytics. He's very much involved in analytics because we are shifting. The industry is shifting. All of us are moving to data-based industry, and everybody knows that. And data analytics is going to be one of the crucial elements, in fact, for crop management. It's already there, not in future. It's already happening. It's just like whether how we are adapting and how we're embracing the new way of moving forward. So I think it's very crucial. That's why Guna have joined us, and we are setting up a lot of data analysis at the moment. Which has been previously I would say it was very much like hands-on, recorded in the books, but now we are going to introduce into all these uses of information technology, how we can benefit from there. Data transfer, data analytics, very important. So anyway, that's the way I look at it. So this is the team. We are a bunch of young guys who come up together, and we decided, look, that's where we're going to move on. We're going to move into agriculture, aquaculture, and in related industries, environmental solutions. And good part is that we are being guided by one of the top two most senior members in the industry as our advisors. So Mr. Henry, I'd like to introduce Mr. Henry. In fact, I think Mr. Henry is in the in the Zoom meeting today. He has experienced over 30 years in the industry. If you come across books like prepared by Mr. Fairhurst on oil palm, you would see his contributions, papers being submitted on nutrient, on nutrient, the importance of nutrient balance and whatnot. And you see, he has played a very important role to set our level of thinking, or he has broke that barrier of what we should look at when we move into a plantation. So that actually molded me. He has been a very influential person to mold me to where I am now for the past 15 years in the industry. So, and I was so surprised last week as we were visiting a plantation, I came across his note dating 1986. That is like, so how many years ago he was visiting plantations. So that kind of wealth of information, he has wealth of knowledge, he has wealth of experience. So for those who are looking forward to join us, he will be there. He's with us to guide us, to guide the new students to pick up what is required for the industry. All right. So Mr. Henry is which is a very one of the foundation pillar. It's a strong pillar for Bio Terra. And next, of course, not forgetting Dr. Param. I think all of you would have heard about him by now. Dr. Param is actually a very, very senior person. Yet, the amount of knowledge and amount of sharing he have done with us is tremendous. He opened up my thought on soil. Say at point when everybody was only wondering, apply fertilizer, the crop will grow. No, it is beyond that. It's that how do you manage your soil to get the best out of it? So I was fortunate to meet him up very early of my career, and he kind of like showed me physically he's very good in soil characterization, and what we added is we added the microbial elements into the soil. It was very interesting actually to at one point of time when we were sharing a lot of notes, and we realized how microorganisms behave in certain type of soil, certain type of soil across Malaysia. It was wonderful because he's the one person who has the data, and we were very interested to share the knowledge. So he also works as one of our advisor. Not works, basically he advises our team whenever we are in doubt, especially on soil. We like to know what type of soil we are looking at and what are the limitations. He will be there to share with us. And of course, AMRO Malaysia, Professor Daljit was very clearly when mentioned that about microbes. Yes, sir. we are working closely with microbe technology as part of our key element as our technology. But we are not moving only on microbe. We are inclusive of all the available technologies. But microbe is something very close to our heart. We started with our microbes, which you're guys gonna see later, and our core products are developed based on this microbe technology, and how we are incorporating this with the current practices of chemicals, because I always believe that it can't be standalone. Using only bioorganic can, but in a large scale, maybe it's not that productive enough, or I would say cost friendly enough. But when we combine these two elements, that's when you have that synergy that actually gives the best crop growth, which we have observed over years. So we'll share that more in our next slides. All right, this is the advisor. So there you go, guys and girls. So for the students, basically, Bio Terra offers something which I think most of the industries are having that, but then we are a bit more, we have a very good mixture of young, I hope I'm still young, consider young guy still, so young and experience. So it's a lethal combo to go into industry. I mean, that's where we have ideas being exchanged, new ideas, traditional methods, how we combine these two, collide. We have discussions, we have arguments, and that will be very interesting when we come up with a solution that, look, this is what is required by the industry at the moment. That is something we are looking at. So to move forward, what we are passionate about. So basically, this is the theme earlier that we are very, the team that have chosen this pathway, and what is our passion. This one slide actually will describe what we are looking at. I mean, we are committed to develop a sustainable agriculture practices across Malaysia and across various crop. And for our information, there's this particular term which has been going around and making rounds, which is talk about food security. And knowing that food security, we was always talking about quantity of food to be produced. And I mean, it's not something new which I'm sharing today. It has been told across the Malaysia, it's been told over the world that with our population boom across the world, and with the current productivity rate, we will need more to feed the people. All right, we need more. So currently we are not there yet, and it is something surprising, not so surprising, sorry, it is something worrying. At the same time, it gives a challenge. So whenever this kind of situation arises, that's where we all must come forward, must step up, and how we going to address this as the next generation, as the next torch bearer. We should look into all these things. That's why when the students coming into the system, it is not this career pathway is very, very noble, where we going to work and towards these kind of agendas. Talk about food security. We must make sure that our next generation have sufficient food to survive. You know, this is very critical, the basic necessity of a human. And not only that, so talking about food security, everybody started to produce food. I want to give more. I want to spray more chemicals. I want to spray, put more fertilizers. I put today 1 kg of fertilizer. Tomorrow I can increase to 2 kg. I'm going to increase the food. Today I see 20% of damage on beetle to my vegetable crop. Tomorrow I'm going to spray. I'm going to keep on spraying my chemicals. Do we do that? Is that the right way? So food security is a part. Next important element, which is very, very crucial, food safety. Because there are cases when we realize young people, babies, children are having diseases which not known of previous years. Those, I mean, not previous years, I mean like previously. I'm talking about young patients, young cancer patients. So it needs more. I mean, all these are showing that that food safety, that's something we consume, must be safe for everyone. So not only producing enough food, but we must have a very quality food. I mean, we must have food safety must be one of the important priority. That's why we always believe that any agriculture practices must be sustainable in terms of the cost and in terms of safety. So this is very important. So quality, quantity and quality, these are the two important elements, because now we observe prices are skyrocketing high. They claim cost of production, but that is something actually need to be looked into further. How we can minimize this kind of cost of productions? How we can go precision agriculture? How we can add on precision so that we don't have wastage in terms of fertilizer, in terms of usage of chemicals and whatnot. So these are the elements we are very committed and very passionate about. So we believe Malaysia is one country which is blessed. We are a blessed country with good weather, a good soil, and most importantly, fertile soil. We are blessed with it. But how, are we moving the right direction? That is something that we all the question must be with us. I think we must bring the responsibility so that we will be the flag bearers of trying to change or trying to provide this kind of information to the industry. So that is what we are all passionate about. Of course, income is something, when we do something right, don't worry about the income, it will be there. That's what we believe in. I'll show you. In fact, you will find out, guys, when we share you a bit of our story. All right. So this is our story. That's how we started. That four guys there. That's the starting point where both of them, all four, we are four of us. Myself, Chandru, Theo Chichai, Sim Tianong, and Andy Cheng. Andy Cheng and Sim Tianong, both of them from UPM, right? So yeah. So it was quite surprisingly, we started our own Bio Terra was started very early stage of our working life. So 2012, we started it. We established Bio Terra Solutions, and we secured a first waste management project. That's where the EMRO were involved. We use EM as part of our treatment, and we started to treat 2,000 metric ton of raw chicken dung a month. So is it a month? Yeah, a month. Sorry, 2,000 metric ton a day. That's the amount of chicken dung. You see that the picture there here that you are seeing here. This is how the fermentation is happening in the composting lane, and this is what's going on lah. All right, guys. So 2012 we started this project, and I started into yield and disease management for 100 acres for oil palm. We started with 100 acres our initial startup. So while doing this is where it gave me a lot of info. So in the picture you're seeing here is, yeah, that's actually myself going into the field, bringing an auger, and you hardly see nothing on the ground. So I'm not scaring you guys, but expect the reality of plantation. You don't expect a very clean plantation to stumble upon. Yeah, so you're gonna see all sort of field. So yeah, I'm sure you guys are field trained. So this is nothing. So yeah, so this is what happens. Under hot sun, we walk in, we try to dig some soil. So basically, this is our first project, which we have incorporated microbes into the normal NPK system, and very surprisingly, not surprisingly, actually we kind of anticipated yield increment, but the rate of increment was surprising. So that's why we are telling that it is not something impossible. It is possible. It can be done. It can be done with the proper management lah. And when we got involved in development of an organic corn eventually. So I'm sure you guys heard of Mas Corn. So he gave us an opportunity to develop our first IPR, our intellectual property right, where we developed a biopesticide to be used for corn, because Mas Corn is actually producing organic corns. So with that production, he was having an issue where he couldn't have the right product to control his pest. Of course, eventually he has the cycle where there is natural control over a predator, over the pest and all things. But at the same time, when the land bank for the pond has increased and you're doing monoculture, eventually the pest will be there as well. So he was reaching out, and then eventually we developed our first biopesticide. And that biopesticide in 2016 we tested in oil palm nursery. And in oil palm nursery, in any plantation nurseries, oil palm, coconut, the usage of chemicals are there on weekly basis eventually to control the plantation nursery diseases like Cavalaria and Pestalotiopsis and some other fungus growth. Normally it's affecting the leaves. So see what we did. We have combined both elements of pest and P&D, pest and disease, into one product. So NLFC was one of the first plantation. This estate is about 50,000 acres. So they are one of the first plantation who used our product, and then very happy about it, because first of all, the cost was sustainable. Secondly, you see, the workers are not exposed to the lethal chemical contents of the chemicals, because in plantation, in nursery, when you are spraying, the seedlings will be arranged quite close to each other. So basically, your movement in the nursery are very restricted. You don't have an open space to literally move around. So basically, when you're spraying the chemicals, you're exposed to the chemicals. All right. So the water, what you call the vapors, will be all over the place. So without proper protection, actually, this actually poses a serious risk to the workers. So by eliminating that, see, the workers become more confident and more comfortable to be in the plantation. So eventually, it actually it gives a very good platform for companies to have a better management in their nurseries. So this is one of the potential, or actually one of the things which have developed over our years. That is within 2012 to within 4 years of our startup. That's why we are saying, guys, when we started off, we were not that, of course, we had a business plan, but we know we are very passionate about what we are doing, and we know we are heading the right direction, and eventually it started to grow. So in 2016, we did the biggest pond cleanup in Malaysia. Unfortunately, it was not published due to certain reasons, because it involved a public listed company. So due to that, it can't be published. But this is a 20-acre pond. It's a mining pond which has been polluted heavily. And the cost of treatment chemically, if you want to do chemical treatment, it's going to cost them about 2 million plus. But it was done, the total treatment was done with a fraction of that cost. And it was published, it was presented to the town council, Perak town, one of the councils there. It was published, it was presented with the attendance of the district officer. Everybody had a surprise there. How within, we asked a period of 3 to 6 months. Within 6 months of monitoring, within 6 months, 3 months of treatment and 6 months of monitoring, we have turned around the whole pond and met standard, the required standard by the Department of Environment. So that is something for them, and it was done using microbes. That is the beauty part of it. Nothing chemical about it. It was done totally purely on microbes. That's why when all of us have been reading, I'm spraying some mud, I'm throwing some mud balls, I'm spraying some EM, I'm spraying that microbe, this microbe. It's not as simple as that. Actually it involves a lot of technical know-how. You have to really see the water parameters, and we have to do a bit of calculation. That's where the agronomy part, also not the agronomy, sorry, the technical know-how comes into the picture. So having the product with the know-how, it gives you wonderful results. that actually everybody was so surprised we were able to do that. And of course, that year also we had our first intern batch. So the interns were very happy with us. So because we all this involve, we have involved our interns to come and join us up to do all these projects basically. Right. So in 2017, we launched into a new segment called lifestyle, and because we believe what we are doing in a commercial scale actually can be scaled down and can be passed to consumers, people at large. And we were so surprised. You see, what we decided in 2017 came in handy for the past 2 years when we were down with COVID. When we were down with COVID, yeah, I will explain later, where home gardening picked up. When people are trying to start more, a lot of people start to do their own planting at home. Then only we realized at one point of time, actually many people realized, oh my God, I'm not sure how to plant. So everybody did a little bit of R&D on their own. I mean, that is something very interesting. I was telling that even my daughter, I had kind of teacher that, look, start planting now. You better learn how to plant because this is going to be very crucial in future. So with minimum knowledge, when people are already moving into IT with the lack of time at home, so all this provided to be a challenge. So what we did, we decided to move on to the consumer segment back in 2017, and thankfully it actually provided a platform. It created a stability for Bio Terra when the whole nation was grappling with lockdown. Our business was ongoing as usual, and in fact, we had a surge of revenue actually at that point during that days. But of course, again, we are keeping we will keep. For us, again, it's not about monetizing the situation, but it's always about providing the best services and the best product at a reasonable price. So that's what we always believe in. So we are looking towards that. So remember, we decided to go to submit the biopesticide. So the picture over here that you are seeing is actually the product we have created, and it was successfully submitted for formulations. The formulation was submitted for IPI. It's still pending some queries at the moment. But remember, we started with 2,000 ton raw chicken dung. So eventually we grew further. Currently we are managing about 11,000 metric ton of raw chicken dung. Where this raw chicken dung is coming from is actually from one of the publicly listed chicken farm, and they are also expanding because our currently, I think, if I'm not mistaken, our self-sustainable ratio for chicken meat is about 98% for nation. Ini berdasarkan kepada perangkaan yang kami dapat daripada MOA lah. So from MOA we got that data. So it matches. Imagine we used to treat about 2,000 ton. Now we're talking about 11,000 ton. That is within 2012, 2019, within 7 years. That's the amount of increment of chicken dung in Malaysia. And how we treat that, we use again the microbes, and then we have converted them into bioorganic fertilizer, which I'll share with you guys later. It's also another one of our product, and to be supplied back to the plantations and for agriculture activities. So coming to our latest story, this is what's happening recently, which is going on now, and that's the reason why we have approached UPM. And actually, thanks to actually, I like to do a special mention here to Dr. Ganesan Wadamalai and Dr. Siva. Both of them were quite influential as well, because they I got to know about this to submit for the interns, but I mean due to them. Okay, so coming back. So 2019, I remember I started about 100 acres initially. So currently, in fact, I'm sitting in their boardroom now. The image, the logo is icon there, the Ladang Tamarai. So Ladang Tamarai is actually the first multi-crop plantation in Malaysia to be established in 2019. They started off, and they appointed Bio Terra Solutions to provide consultancy for them to manage their soil, to manage their crop. For coconut, coconut is about 500 acres, durian, which is about 1,500 acres, and the balance is for jackfruit. We have got the confirmation from, because previously, if you go to any plantations, they will be focusing on single crop, mostly oil palm. You'll go to a oil palm plantation, there'll be oil palm plantation. If you go to a what do you call this, coconut plantation, will be coconut plantation, rubber plantation. But this is one area that you have a multi-crop. Everything's in this place. It's is in a span of 3,000 acres, and we were appointed to be their consultant for them. And currently, I'm in their office at the moment. And that's why I was telling Nurfida I'm actually in the estate. So I was working, and I was quite worried of the connection actually, quite bad internet connection. So anyway, this is something that for you guys to pick up. So this is where we started off. So if you realize, our consultation is not about only on agronomy, but it involves what do you call this, irrigation as well. And for your information, this whole 3,000 acres that we are talking about, fully irrigated. So it gives us a new challenge. Our team were given a new challenge to design the irrigation for 500 acres of coconut, for the durian and jackfruit as well. So eventually, we pick up the challenge as well. So we calculated, that's where it's going on. And for your information, that system alone is about 600,000 ringgit. So that is something all of us have to, I mean, these are the challenges waiting for you guys eventually, right? So it's not about only looking at the plants. We also want to make sure the irrigation is taken care of. So that is in 2019. So moving forward, I think last year was a big hit. I mentioned in my first slide about the productive food crop, especially short-term crops, because coconut is all perennial crops. It's also food-based, but then perennial crops, but short-term crops like paddy, which we were very interested. And we submitted a paper to IEDS Perampera, and it was accepted. And we were given an opportunity to work on improving the paddy yield, which is currently ongoing. The whole area is about 10,000 hectare in Seberang Perak. So we have engaged Dr. Ganesan and Dr. Siwa, I mean, to work with, we are looking forward. Basically, I'm using UPM to do my tests. So I send my samples to UPM to get all the things all to be tested out. So we'll do field visits together. So this is currently ongoing at the moment. And that the need or the need to expand. So we are expanding more, and then basically we need resources in terms of manpower. Manpower. We need people to be on the ground, because more fields are coming up. Next season we have more fields to look at, more paddy fields to be digged upon, more soil samples to be taken, more oil palm plantations to be visited, more leaf samplings, and more data to be collected. And because we are moving towards agri-tech, where we're going to incorporate what do you call this, information technology into the system, so that how we trying to move forward. Okay, I give you a simple example. The paddy industry, right? One of the biggest challenge is not low yielding due to any particular reasons. It's actually the data flow. That is one of the biggest factor we realize, because by the time samples are taken, by the time it's being analyzed, by the time it reaches back to the farmer on the ground, it is too long, far too long. It's taken so long for the information to flow from the sample until it's being given to the farmer. By the time he would have missed the critical points in paddy, panickinization or flowering, he will miss that particular moment of to put the proper amount or the right nutrients balance, the right amount of nutrients. By missing that, that process alone is actually very detrimental to the paddy yield. So how we are working on that? Actually, how we are doing, what are we doing now is actually to change the whole landscape, to change the whole thing, and that's why actually it can't be done only by Bio Terra, of course, but of course that's why we have involved. We are getting it's a joint effort. It's all of us have to come together. So how all of us coming together, Mr. Henry, myself, Bio Terra, we all are together with UPM, with IED officers, all of us are coming, zooming in. We are going into that particular lot and let's establish this thing. And this is what's going on in IED at the moment. And it's very, very interesting, which I think we need more people to be working on this, because eventually it's going to be a huge amount of area. All right. So coming to the end, not to the end. So this is the update, what is going on of our timeline. Okay, so to move forward, I'd just like to introduce our approach. What do we do? How? I mean, it's a very simple approach. I think everybody does that, but I like to confirm. Is not determined by the product. It's not. Basically, a lot of people going there, oh, which is the best fertilizer? There is no such thing as best fertilizer. Which is the best chemical? No. There is no such thing as best fertilizer, best product. No. It's always the best management practices determines your outcome. So Bio Terra is dedicated for that. We are moving into creating the best management practices for the crop, for the management to adapt when products can be tailored or can be customized for that particular soil, for the particular crop, for the particular age, for the particular requirement, for the particular weather condition. All this can be worked upon, because that's what we are looking at. So it is not like one product solves all, no such thing. So this is what we are looking at. So when we talk about soil management, we need to understand type of soil involved, and we need to understand the limitations. So everybody will talk about, oh, good soil, but knowing good soil will give you the best, but knowing your limitations will give you sustainable. So because these are the limiting factors which are going to be impacting your yield eventually, and eventually maybe after a few rounds of cultivation, your yield will start to decline, and because there's no sustainability in it. So knowing the limitations, you will know how to work around it. We will know how to work around it. This is our job. This is what we do. We'll zoom in. We'll find the limitations. So this is what is limiting your potential. So how do we move forward to your potential? And we develop the optimal soil management for the crop production eventually, right? Then we go to nutrient management. The understanding the choice of fertilizers affects the soil quality parameters. That's very true. Actually, a lot of people fail to understand that. We keep on applying whatever we want to apply everywhere. For instance, I give you an example. I've seen plantations, coconut plantations, applying potassium nitrate, which is wrong. So they were applying it. So we realized that it's wrong. Right? Basically, you need the right choice of fertilizer is very important. You must go potassium chloride for coconut. So this is all these things are very crucial, very important, because these are the missing links, the missing infos in the industry at the moment. And determining, okay, this is something Mr. Henry always been talking to me. Chandru is not putting the right amount, it's actually putting the right balance of nutrient into the soil. That will bring out the best of your crop and avoid wastage. Basically, we don't waste your fertilizer. That's one of the biggest elements. I think this week, I think Malaysia has been given the news. All prices are skyrocketing. Fertilizer price going up, pesticide price going up, weedicide price going up. Then we were like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? But we are also telling you there's a lot of wastage by putting the wrong choice of fertilizers. All these can be worked upon, so to get the best out of it, right? Eventually price will fluctuate. Whatever goes up will eventually come down, but wastage is something fundamental. It is within your management, it's within your reach. You can control that. So this is what we are looking at. All right, then of course another element which is actually it is on the rise, pest and disease. It is actually a very important element. We have seen what do you call this? For instance, I can share with you a basal stem rot for oil palm plantation is a very serious case. Then when we moved into paddy, we also realized the occurrence of certain disease which is picking up, which is significantly on the rise every year, because we are planting rice on the same plot every year, every season. So that basically it's building over a period of time. So how do we manage this? We can't keep on spraying chemicals. This year I spray this amount, 16 ml. Next year increase to 32 ml. It doesn't work like that, because this is what causes the issue. So we have to identify proper pest approach. We have to identify the proper management for it. And most importantly, is actually to monitor them. I think one of the biggest challenges is monitoring, because in most of the industry, I mean, agriculture plantation that we have visited and consulted upon, I think monitoring is something which is not, unfortunately, not being carried out extensively, or maybe some places they neglected it. But of course, big plantations, as companies like Samda, KLK, of course they do that. But then let's not forget that we also have a sizable number of medium-sized plantations and smallholders. I'm not talking about 1 acre, 2 acre here. I'm talking about at least 1,000 acres or 5,000 acres. We have a number of them. So this is they also contribute to the national CPO production. And when these people are not consulted or given the right advice, their contributions actually pulling our national average down, which in fact I think every minister have agreed and mentioned about it. So what can be done? What can be done? So this is something that we are moving on. So we believe that by adopting these management practices, we must not only talk about Malaysian standard. Let's move beyond. We are talking about global practices, global standards. We need to move towards that, because eventually we are facing issues. European countries are blaming our oil palm that we are causing deforestation. I mean, they will keep on talking about it because this is the way it's being done. We know for a fact they have to. I mean, what do you call that? I mean, work with their soybean oil and other oil. They are also oil producers, but they also understood that the fact oil palm is being produced at the most cheapest cost is a threat. So they have to use the other way around. They will go on pollution. They will talk about safety. So how do we respond to it? So we don't cry about it. Let's respond to them positively by producing a good quality oil and sustainable oil. So, and not only that, Guna had a opportunity. He had a Zoom meeting with Dutch agriculture minister. It was organized by our Malaysian government. So he entered the what do you call that meeting. So you see, one of the most important element untuk menembusi pasaran Eropah to enter the European market is not on quality. Sorry, not on quantity. It's actually quality. See, they are very concerned on food safety. Food safety is their #1 priority. So moving forward, we need to know traceabilities. We need to have data. We need to talk about what do you call what kind of things are being sprayed on my food. It is happening. It's happening. So this is a big work to be done in Malaysia, because until now, unfortunately, if you go to Cameron Highlands, you'll find it is there. Farmers don't bother. They keep on spraying whatever they want to spray. I'm not saying we're going to change every one of them. No, but eventually we can create awareness where we are working together. Like for instance, like people like Aidis Bram Perak, we are working with Minister of Agriculture. Slowly but surely change will happen. So because this is the demand of the industry, this is the demand from the international market, where safety is the biggest concern for market accessibility of market. So again, so to enhance Malaysian agriculture product to have the competitiveness in the global market, we need to be there. We need to address all these things, and all these things we require a lot of data sampling, a lot of resources, a lot of monitoring to be done in the field. Hence, that's why it provides a huge platform. Malaysian agriculture is moving away. It's not moving away. It's shifting towards the IR 4.0. So we have to embrace it. Kita harus bersedia untuk menjangkut cabaran ini, dan cabaran ini akan menjadi satu titik di mana kita akan menembusi ataupun kita akan menembusi lah, more global acceptance of Malaysian product. It is crucial. Otherwise, we'll be losing out again to other countries. All right. So that is our thing on how we do. So just this is a few steps I think I like to share with the boys and girls, and on what we do. Apakah tindakan kita yang biasa kita ambil when we are approaching a client of us. So the first step is always designing. Okay, I have come across where people will be like going in and masuk je, lawat ladang terus cakap we can apply this fertilizer, that fertilizer, this fertilizer. It doesn't work like that actually. We are not superhuman to detect all this shortage, and not only shortage, we may putting more, you see. So surplus, all this need to be identified. So in order to do that, we have to assess. We have to do assessments. This is something which is missing in the industry. Not missing lah. It is there, but not fully adapted. We need to do the assessments. This is where Bio Terra comes into the picture. So where we do these things, we will do the assessments for the clients, for the plantations. So assess the limitations. Then we'll come up with the design and we'll submit a report to the people. This is your limitation. This is your issues you are facing now. This is your crop performance for the past 5 or 10 years or so, whatever data they have, and we will establish the management practices for them to apply. So step 2 will be basically with them, with the client, with the industry players. So they will do the applications. At times we will go to do hands-on operation with them, like what I'm doing with Lotus at the moment, Ladang Tamaring, where I'm based here most of the time to assist them, because these guys are totally newcomers in the industry. So we are assisting them step by step, even to the extent of how to apply the product to the crop. So this is the amount of guidance that we are sharing with our clients and customers. And of course, step 3, it will come back to us, where monitoring. So we will design monitoring parameters. So yearly basis, maybe quarterly basis, or half yearly, monthly. All this will be designed based on the critical requirements for the observation. For instance, for pests and disease, I don't think so. Monthly will do a job. For instance, we had an outbreak. Not an outbreak. We had a wild boar damage for coconut. The wild boar damage the incidence rate was about, the whole plantation was about 23%. But one particular field, we had up to 50% wild boar damaged all our young coconuts. That's a huge loss, actually. So this kind of monitoring must be done on a weekly basis. We can't wait a month. 1 month we come there back, maybe we have no coconut anymore. So all these things must be established. So this is where we step in and we guide the planters, the industry, the effectively observe for them, so that they feel comfortable with the investment that they make. They see the benefit out of it. So this is very important. Step 1 and step 3, very crucial. And step 1 and step 3 will be will be driven by Bio Terra Solutions. And step 2 and step 4 will be the work of the planters or the farmer to make sure they do it according to what we have designed for them. So that is a bit of approach. So this is the pictures. That's Dr. Param. I'd like to share something about the picture. Why I used to do that picture. Our friend, our owner there, he's been using a product, one particular product, which cost him 1,000 ringgit per liter. 1,000 ringgit per liter for the durian trees. So, and you think that, hey, Chandru, my trees are not growing well. I've been spraying this product, 1,000 ringgit per liter. I was like, okay. We were like so surprised. Wow, you must be so, I mean, the return of the durian must be so good that you can afford 1,000 ringgit per liter. That was like, wow, this is good. What we did, I called Dr. Param. Dr. Param, let's take a visit. So both of us went in and we did a bit of soil test, and we found out the reason. There is a formation of lateritic stones within 15 centimeters of his soil. And our friend planted the durian there. Of course, it's not going to grow well. So it can, but maybe you have to change. So the best thing is for him actually not to plant durian there, first of all. And then by putting 1,000 ringgit per liter product, it's not going to solve his problem. Unfortunately, this is where owners are taken for a ride. So this is where we step into the picture. We gave him a proper advice. Say, look, sir, don't do this. Stop buying those products. It's not going to help you. Change. Maybe in future, don't plant durian there anymore. Plant some other things. Or you can do a structural, build some structure on top of it instead of planting, because it's not going to help. So coming there. So this is something that we always involved upon. It's always about initial design. This is where all of us will be heavily involved. So if there is new students, you are going to be involved here as well. This is going to be the first base. All right, that's the picture of me, myself, and Mr. Henry in Paddy when we were going in and testing it out to understand the whole situation of the paddy industry. It's very interesting, actually. The amount of data we have collected is very surprising, very surprising. All right. So coming back, okay, this is coming back to the applications part of it, where the products are being applied, the nutrients are being used. Application is basically the farmers or the planters' work. All these pictures are all our based on our work. And coming back, that's where you can see our face again, where monitoring of results, we are back in the picture again. We don't take things for granted. We don't simply design and disappear from the radar. We make sure whatever we have designed, they apply, and we will show them the results. That is something we are dedicated upon. And due to the results are showing, that's the reason why, like we mentioned, that I started with 100-acre plantation. Now we are currently managing 3,000 acres. And in fact, we have about, I would say, easily about 10,000 acres of customers currently under our supervision. So that potential actually can grow more. Like I talk about IADS Prampera, is easily 10,000 hectares there. So that's why actually when we see these numbers, actually we got scared. Look, we need to build our fleet of people. You know, we need to build our team We need a team, a strong team, a passionate team who chooses this line as the career, not as a job. Again, this is very important. So quantity of results are going there. So then we talk about approach of pest and disease. Same system. It's about design, application, monitoring, and maintenance. Similar, it won't change much. So this is the picture. The first picture here. This is actually a coconut palm. Do you guys see this? What has happened to that? Okay, do you see this irrigation line? It is being irrigated, yet it dried up. So they were spraying anthracol, they were spraying anthracol, they were spraying headlines, systemic and contact fungicide. It was not working. It was not working, and it totally dried up. So this was the task taken by us when we went in, when we zoomed in into this client. That's why we landed this Tamare estate eventually. They gave the whole plantation medicine to us because we solved that. So see, the first step taken by us is that we introduced addition of MOP. So everybody was laughing about it. Why you choose to put MOP on a young coconut? Theoretically or practically in the industry, MOP to be used in a later stage. But how many of us know that addition of MOP strengthens the palm's defense mechanism? It gives the palm to a chance to survive further, to fight back the disease. So you see, that's the thing when I'm saying choosing the right product at the right time is very critical and to be worked upon. So this is the work that we have done. So when you guys join us, this is one location in Jampol where you will be based, not say based, this is one of the project site which we'll be working upon. The same palm that you are seeing here, when you come over to the plantation, you'll be surprised at the current growth rate. So this is another location. This is in in Tanjung Malim. It's a 500 acres coconut plantation devastated with RB, and we worked with that. And this is again another banana plantation in Tanjung Malim. We were assessing the disease. This is a very interesting disease. It is a bacterial infection in the palm. Sorry, in the banana trunk, and it's causing the wilt. So yeah. So anyway, so all these are being done. That's the organization there because I send the samples to UPM eventually to be to identify the strain. Okay, to isolate it. All right. So then, of course, product applications. This will be done by them, by the farmers. Then coming back, the monitoring protocols where we will zoom in back. I rely heavily on sensors data. I'm a firm believer of numbers. Numbers will never tell. Numbers will never lie. Numbers will never lie. Always remember that. So sensors is very important. I emphasize on data taking like mad. So we have to keep on taking numbers. These numbers will give us an idea what are we looking at, and are we moving the right direction, or is our treatment good? Do we need to change the product? Do we need to enhance the product, or do we need to change the time of spraying, the interval of spraying? So all these are based on numbers, not based on observation, not viewing it lah. So dah okay, kurangkan semburan. No, it's based on numbers. All right. So that's how we run the show, and a bit of intro, next will be on the products that we have developed over years. And we have, since we are working on bio as our fundamental technology, our core technology. So we have produced this bio-organic fertilizer. In fact, I can assure you this bio-organic fertilizer, it is amazing. It is amazing. The nutrient content is not really significant. Let's forget about nutrient content. That's why I will say that to supply nutrients using bio-organic fertilizers doesn't make sense. But to supply the organic matter, to supply the microbial cocktail into the soil, it does matter, and the results can reflect how important they need to incorporate bio-organic fertilizers into your system. So This is being produced by us at the moment, and our current production rate, we can produce up to 5,000 ton a month. Yeah, that's our production rate at the moment. So we are producing about 5,000 ton a month currently, right? So this is our enhanced growth enhancer. I'll show you a picture later. It's not here. It's in the later slides. Again, we use EM, but EM is normally what do you call that? Wrongly understood. So EM normally is they will say is the mother of all treatment. No, actually, EM can be used to enhance certain products, enhancements. So we use that as our base material, but we created a growth enhancer out of it, and that is working wonderful at the moment. In fact, our growth rate. This is the one of the work that actually I'm going to work with UPM eventually. We're going to do some data analysis and to present the findings to the industry eventually. So this is the biopesticide we have prepared: bagworm for rat, wild boar. None of these contains any chemicals. It is all developed. This is the one we submitted the IPR lah. So this is the one we use: neem, lemongrass, garlic, onion. It's common thing. It's something that everybody reads about and knows about it. But how much the concentration works, that is what we have learned, and how to apply, how to use according to the weather. I mean, which stage of bagworm you need to spray this product so that you have the best outcome. All is very important. By the way, this product bagworm were used in Risda Serigala to control 800 hectares of bagworm. They had an outbreak. I believe the nation were aware of that. We had an outbreak of bagworm in southern Perak. This is one of the products we used to control that. This was done in Risda Serigala. Okay, so coming to the final two slides, I'm going to share a bit of our activities. Okay, it might be sounding very serious, or whatever work that we are doing sounding very serious. Actually, we are not. Our team, actually, like I said, it's a mixture. We feel we must have some sort of freedom. We must have we must unshackle our minds. That is the most important element. So freedom is something you all can look at, where ideas can flourish. We're not gonna because that's how we grew. We talk about all the ideas. This is actually our first exhibition. That's why we look so excited. This is way back earlier days. This is the pond treatment that we were talking about. This theme here. So this is the pond treatment. We did the test with we involve DOEs. Normally, whatever project we do, we involve the government agencies as the testament for our work. So so they are doing the on-site monitoring. That's a plantation manager who took me for to see how we apply biopesticide for rat control. This is in one of the Risda estates. We managed to control their rat using something we consume on biryani. I won't be telling that. We will be telling that, but this is being used in our biryani recipe. We used that, and then it worked. And then remember the growth factor I was talking about. This is my partner, his head, and you can see the size of the trunk of the banana. Okay, why we increase the size of the trunk. Banana is prone to wind damage. The moment when you're about to harvest banana, if there's a strong wind, every banana plant will topple. But this guy had a very minimal damage in Bangadato, where we increased the trunk size, and he had an increase of his bunch weight as well. Sorry, the fruit weight as well. So normally average there they'll get about 15 to 16 kg per tandan. This guy got 20 to 25 kg per tandan. While we just increased the vigor of the plant. It was done using the growth hormone. So it is interesting. So like I said, Bio Terra is very close to we are, like I said, it's nothing, not only about economic like I said, in 2017, we decided to go for consumers. Not beyond that, we work with communities on our, we work with a lot of communities. This is Guna. Okay, Guna, this is Guna. So Guna spearheaded he headed the team into the community farming, because there is an outreach of community farming. We are staying in Shalam. So in Shalam, we have a couple of community farms. Unfortunately, community farms supposed to be community, but they took it wrongly that we must go buy chemicals. We have to use that NPK, this NPK, and it's not community. It's becoming economic eventually. So it was costly. So most of them stopped doing community farming. So what we told them, take your food waste, this is a composting bin, take your food waste that you produce every day, turn it into a fertilizer and plant. More than enough, you'll get the result. So this is what we did. This is in Shalam. This is the PPR Taman Rimba in Ken Rimba, sorry, one of the Pangsapuri, where we selected a group of family, B20 families, B40 families. So what we did, we incorporated, give me your waste. We paid them eventually. They said, your waste is a resource for someone. Give your waste. We converted into fertilizer and we send it to the farmers. This is exactly, that's Guna there. He's applying the food waste into the plot and they are planting. And what you are seeing here is a harvest from the plot using food waste only. And that was done, community farm. That's what community is all about. It's inclusiveness. That's not commercialized community farms. We should use the resources within our community to develop that. So that's what we did. So hence, that's what we did. We developed that. So we are very much community-based as well. So, and guys, it's not only about corporate activities. We're going to involve a lot of community activities as well, because it is our task to be there to help the community as well eventually. And for information, guys, this was done during the COVID days. During the COVID days, when the lockdown was imposed, this community farm was given special permission to operate because they are producing food for the local communities, for the local people nearby, to minimize the traveling. So all they have to do is come to their farm, collect their fruit, and go back and cook. That's what they did. So we helped to develop this. So eventually, all these are very critical lessons we learned during the COVID days. So this is the palm. If you guys realize, we were doing resupplying, and we also will do a lot of collaboration. Not a collaboration. We have a lot of tie-ups with MOA and with local farmers associations. This is from Persatuan Kelapa. So we had an entourage of 40 of them came to visit and to understand how are we planting our coconut. We shared every single one of that. This is the team. They are very happy because we managed to run, we successfully installed irrigation system for, this is the first portion, which is covering about 5,000 palms. This is the foliar testing. We went to Mados estate. If you guys know what is Mados actually belongs to the Sultan of Johor. So we went there. We were engaged to do the foliar test for them. And yeah, this is the community works that we have done so far. So saying that, what we are sharing with you is that that's the end of the presentation. And my final message will be like, Bio Terra is offering a career, not only into corporate, but people at large. So we are looking at sustainable agriculture practices, and we are looking into people who are same-minded, because we believe one thing. Our team, we grew because we had the freedom. It gave us a lot of opportunity for us to think beyond or outside the box. Literally gave us. If this is one entity which gives you that, you must able to think outside the box. Then only we will grow. thank you for your time and thank you for listening to to my presentation. Right, the floor is yours, Puan Azira.
Thank you, Mr. Chandru, for the interesting sharing about Bio Terra Solutions. It is indeed very eye-widening to know about your company as how you guys start from zero and to what you are achieving now. And it is very interesting. So, dear seniors who are going to intern soon, you can try applying here, right?
Yes, of course.
But before before that, sir, do you have contact of your HR department that maybe the students can contact if there are any inquiries?
Okay, can I pass the number?
Yes, you can share it in the chat box
Oh,
so that everyone can have it.
Ms. Nur Hazira, let me say something lah. Say some.
Yes, sure.
All right, Mr. Chandru, thank you very much for the very informative presentations. I believe your talk today should not only for the student, actually it can be open to everyone. If only I know that your focus will be on many things, research as well as community, as well as extension services. I think it's best because there will be many people who are interested to know about your product also as well. Actually, I hope that we can have another talk, similar talk, that we can open to the public. Normally, when we do a presentation or seminar, normally we open for everyone.
Okay.
For everyone, we easily can get more than 100 participants to join, and there will be right now we're using online platform, so easily people from around Malaysia can get engaged easily. And there are a lot of farmers also will be interested in your with your products also, especially.
Yeah.
I think it's not only for students to look for internships or anything lah. I think there's more than that actually.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah.
Just like that, and I see that a big thing for the students. I remember one thing when you work or what, the objective for internship is you want to learn something. You want to learn, you want to practice, and you want to be part. They will show you the real things, what happenings in the industry, working life.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not the same thing that you do in the lab. It's totally two different things. It's totally different things. Okay, so when you do that, when you ask some things or you ask for anything, you must know if you have to give 100 or 200 or 300% your efforts. Okay, and of course, there's some questions from the student just now. Normally, where do I think I just asked directly, Mr. Chandru. Do your company, okay, this just for internships? Just for internship, do you provide any accommodations or any allowance?
Yes, we do provide allowance.
Okay.
We have. Can I mention the amount?
Why? Yeah, sure. Please. Yeah.
Okay. We have budgeted about 500 ringgit a month as allowance for the students to be part of our team lah.
All right. Okay. There's a big amount here actually. It's a very big amount.
And whenever they travel, accommodations, transportations, all be taken care by us. Basically, they are covered on that sense. So basically, they won't be going alone, of course. So we'll be there to be guiding them. They'll be traveling with me. Basically, I'll be the main person to travel.
Right.
Then another part of mine, Guna and Sim and Guna. So basically, me and Mr. Henry will be traveling together. So the boys or whoever joins us. Basically will be joining the traveling party to do the work.
Yes. Yeah, the good things about this, the student we have opportunity to go around. I mean, you have also travelings, going places. The one thing when you work in in agriculture sector, plantation and agronomists, you got a chance to meet new people, see new environments.
True.
So, is there any other questions?
Yes, Doctor. There are a lot of questions in the chat box.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay, let me read some things before Mr. Chandru answer also.
Sure.
There's one question by Nurul Nazira, I guess. Hello and hi, Mr. Chandru. So Bio Terra Solution focuses on environment where education lifestyle. Therefore, can other students from different background apply for intern? Of course, you can, as long as it's related. So what is your answer? So, Mr. Chandru? Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, the question was about environment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Waste, agriculture as well. No,
Okay.
the student asked if they're from other background other than agriculture.
Okay. Like I said, I started biochemistry. That basically nothing to do with agriculture, but I was just a bit passionate about growing things and about so I picked up this. So the answer is yes. If you are interested, if this is what you're looking at, then why not?
Yes.
Please apply. So that's what we're looking at. Number one. Number two. Okay. I share another example. Number two. This next Monday, we are going to one of the water treatment plant because there is an issue, something to do with environment issues. There's a bit of pollution here and there, nearby areas. What we are looking at is how do we incorporate EM or also part of solutions to assist that water treatment plant. So this is totally environment project. And actually, there's another slide. Actually, Guna was asking me yesterday, let's add on this, but I was more on agriculture. So I said, never mind, because I removed most of the environment work from these slides because I was keeping only to agriculture. So we did a soil rehabilitation. It is a paper mill factory with which they breed paper mill waste. The mill waste tu dorang dah tanam. And leaking tu dia dah masuk, it eventually went into the nearby stream and causing the pollution to the nearby river lah. So we did a soil treatment to rehabilitate the soil. So which was proven successful as well. So we managed to it's called bioremediation lah, biosoil remediation. So we did that. So yes, you're right. There are also environment projects which we pick up as and when required, because not all environment projects can be solved by microtechnology. Let's understand that as well. So like water treatment, soil treatment, yes, it can be done. Organic pollutants can be solved. So when it comes to inorganic pollutants, we have to do other treatments as well, of course. So yeah, that's where I go. And of course, we also involve, this is something new, which I'm sharing today, which is already in our pipeline. We are involved in biogas work. We are currently, it's already in the move. We are going to start off next. So this is one of the pipeline, because I was told the interns may join in February, if I'm not wrong. So it'll be just in time because our first biogas project will be launched. It's a pilot scale, but it's totally new, something which is not done in Malaysia yet. So that's something exciting for you guys to know. That's something waiting for us. All right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chandru. There's another one question. I think it's from our international students. I think Daily is taking agriculture science. So he want to ask whether your company accept international student to do the internship over there.
Oh,
international student.
Okay, you'll be good, but then is the international student based here, Malaysia?
It's based in Malaysia.
Yes, actually, he is in the Zoom also.
Oh, in Zoom. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, Emeka, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, dear Mr. Emeka, from Nigeria. Actually.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. So yeah, actually, like I said, opportunity is across everyone, for everyone. Yes, but then, but let me be honest about it, because applicants basically will be screened through. We will be screening through, of course. That's no doubt about that. And one of the person who's going to screen through is actually myself, of course, and Mr. Henry. So Mr. Henry is actually part of is in the Zoom meeting. That he will be my advisor. So he will be like of course we have the screening process. So we will let the successful applicants will inform them. So basically this is what we want, this kind of mindset and then to enter the plantation. that will be very critical as well. So yeah, but then not forgetting, it's not that we're gonna screen out and then forget about the rest. No, that's not the intention. I always believe in the right person for the right task. I always believe in that. So maybe not for coconut. Maybe I can bring some other persons into environment projects. Maybe we can bring into waste management projects. We can bring into paddy crops, vegetable crops, because there are multiple crops, and each crops have different challenges. So this is something we are looking at. So of course, yeah, to answer you that, yeah, we are open to everyone actually.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. There's one question. This one is more on your secret of your company. But okay, this question by Jess lah. It is interesting to hear that spraying EM into the soil and how effective it is to enhance the soil quality. But the effectiveness of EM in a product will initially decline as time passes. So can you share the secret of Bio Terra EM products by keeping them active and effective in the product? If for me, I will answer no.
Okay, sir. But then, okay. Okay. First of all, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. All right. So, but let me share something. Let me share. This is not actually, it's not a big secret. Frankly speaking, it's not a big secret after all. First of all, the question is like how effective it is to enhance the soil quality. First of all, number one. So let me answer that, or let me target that particular another statement. The initially decline as time passes. Okay, for information, we kind of like established how long it lasts in the soil eventually. In a product, shelf life is more than 12 months. It can last. Depends on the parameters. That's what I'm saying. Each soil we have its own parameters, its own limitations. Remember I said that? And weather pattern. So all these normally between 3 to 6 months is actually the shelf life in the soil. This is what we have observed. In a good soil, it can last up to 6 months. In a very bad soil, 3 months is the best. But what we do after that? Well, like what we do with nutrients, we will top up. We need to add on. So that's why we have to prepare a program based on their soil limitations. So we always people tend to forget, oh, EM. Like I said, EM is not a super product. It actually has a lot of limitations. That limitation is actually related to the soil. So and actually the weather pattern. So it's very crucial. So I've seen people applying products, microwave products on a hot sun. It's a drought situation, 3 months no rain, and these guys applying EM products. I was like, my goodness, what are you trying to do? Microbes doesn't have legs. It needs water to move around. So when the soil is barren and dry, how do you expect EM to work? So that's the thing. If you ask me how good it's in soil, it is good. That I can assure you. Because data, I'm not saying basically of the normal salesman stock. No, based on data, we are able to increase 1 kg per gram, 1 kg per fruit of the bunch weight using EM. And we need to move forward. We need to find out the percentage of oil increment which has been recorded. And in paddy fields, we have recorded up to 40% increment of yield. This is all at the point of time we're using EM-based products. EM, like I said, is a kind of a mother. So it can be used, but it can be manipulated to work for our benefit. That's where it makes the difference. Using EM alone may not be as effective as it is supposed to be, but EM can be used with additional products to be more effective. This is what we have learned. And that secret, I couldn't tell you now. That one you must join us, that you will learn eventually. All right, but then EM is good for your information. All right, sir. Okay. So I hope that answers you.
Okay, Mr. Chandru, I think we can accept one more last questions lah. All right,
sure.
One more last question. I think you should read on your chat box. This is from Ong Peggy. Ong Peggy. Based on his or her understanding, a lot of plantation, especially oil palm plantation, would prefer Actually, conventional should be chemical fertilizer, such as urea, glyceride, and others, which would have higher content of nutrients as compared to organic or bioorganic fertilizer. So how Bio Terra organic products able to convince the plantation owner to use their products?
It's all data. It's all data. Simple as that. Take the soil, test for the organic matter, show them the organic matter content, and then they'll be surprised the organic matter content. As simple as that. And then because none of the product, urea, glyceride, and whatnot, supplies organic matter to the soil. So again, that's the thing. If people have an understanding that, oh, I'm putting back my fronds, I'm putting back we have growth, we have organic matter build up. No, basically your organic matter build up will take years to mature. So basically it's data. Bio Terra convinces people, or our client get convinced by data. We show them this is what your soil is all about. This is the level. Actually, all these are already there. It's all in the literature. People have done studies how organic matter helps to revitalize the microorganisms reactions in the soil and how it works. And yeah, and one more thing. We are the one person who going around telling people not to put organic matter in the soil, especially in diseased areas. We have seen people doing EFB mulching in a Ganoderma infested areas, and we know how the infection will spike up because of organic loading. So we are one company which been going around telling that you put organic matter as per requirement of the soil. Again, it's going back and the condition of your area. If you see your place is filled with like for instance, my coconut plantation, I'm riddled with wild boar. I won't be putting organic matter there because I'll be inviting earthworms. The next thing I know, all my pumps are gone. So you don't put now, maybe later. So by telling this, the customers will totally understand that, look, we are not here to make hard sell on them. We don't do hard sales. We try to press them, buy our product, buy our product. That's why we are not only selling the products. Actually, our first option is to provide them a proper consultancy, proper service. Let them know what they have in the hand, what kind of soil they're working with, what kind of crop they're working with. Then we'll tell them what kind of products. If they require organic matter, we'll propose our products. So that's how it goes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So I think, okay.
I think that's all questions from students. Thank you very much, Mr. Chandru.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you very much. By the way, can I add one more something?
Please.
My buddy have shared his email and contact number in the chat box for the interested persons, attendees to apply. So it's already in the chat box.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Doctor. And so before we end the question, can I ask you a few questions which may be important for the students that would like to apply for internship? So the first question from Ong Pei Ki is Bio Terra taking short-term interns, for example, during semester break?
Yes, possible. Yes, possible. We look into the again, we will look into the requirement, the need. For instance, I can share you for the next paddy planting will be somewhere in February, and then it will be followed up somewhere in June. I believe June is the semester break, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
It's in the March, but yes.
Yeah, March. Okay.
Right.
So you see, the next paddy planting season is somewhere in February. So we're going to do another 4 months work there.
Right.
I think that's that work kind of work. But the question I throw back to our dear friend, Mr. Ong or Ong Pei Ki, I will throw back the question. Would you like to work in a paddy field? So that is the question I will throw back to. So, tengok masuk tengah panas. So that's another. That's what I'm saying. If options available, everything's there. That's why we don't want to shortchange the students by telling them everything's rosy. You know, it's gonna be hot. I lost my hair after joining Bio Terra. so it's interesting, you know. So you come there, you're gonna work, you're gonna have fun, but at the same time, it's not easy work. It's gonna be in a hot sun, under rain. I just came back from a field just now, sloshed in the mud. Actually, that's why you see only top half. I have muddy down here. So anyway, that's the fact. So I believe you came online to the video, so on. So yeah, I don't mind taking, provided I'll tell you where is the work. So if your choice, if you feel like you would like to do this, then by all means you're free to. I mean, you're welcome to join us.
But best, right? On is best that you follow the scheduled time already. I have to say, the timetable, the semester already assigned for all the students when you should start your practical. Okay, not just simply based on your semester break. Okay,
Right.
we have a 6-month internships for all of the students.
Okay.
Actually, okay,
so
right.
sorry, I saw one interesting question. Can I address that?
Yeah, please, female.
Yes, sure.
The
Sure,
question
sir.
is, it is suitable for female graduate to join Bio Terra team. My goodness, we are not in. please, you are more than welcome. Because my pediphiles, right? I saw the students came from UPM. Wow, I tell you, even we guys were falling into the pediphiles. They were pretty much very good walking in the pediphiles, so they are good. So it's it doesn't matter for us. All of you are welcome to join us. That's the way I look at it, right? That like I said, in the end of the day, is the working condition. If you are able to take that, you are able to work with that condition, you're more than welcome. So yeah, that's the one question that I'd like to address that. All right, so yeah, so.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chandru. Dr. Dajit, do you have anything else to add before we end the question and answer session?
Thank you, Mr. Chandru, and thank you, Ms. Nohazira.
Yeah, thank you very much. So thank you for having us, to giving us the opportunity today. It's a wonderful session. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so by the way, I was told there's a Kahoot quiz today.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before we end today's event, let's take a picture with our speaker, Mr. Chandru, and the teams from Bio Terra Solution Sdn Bhd. So all, please turn on your camera, and AGK Multimedia Jesse, please stand by and take a photo.
Most Malaysians fantasize about earning US dollar and spend